Oh, beautiful. Well, hello, you beautiful ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another video. Once again, it is indeed Roy on Two Wheels. And I'm going to be doing something a little bit different today. I am planning on filming another Uber Eats video, but I am actually working tonight, so I don't really have enough time. I was meant to be doing a course this morning, but I woke up late, standard. So I thought I'd come out and film a shorter video that requires a little bit less time invested in order to make it. What a lovely day. What a beautiful place we're in. I'm gonna head up to the co-op and get some fuel because I'm in the red. So what we're going to be talking about today is motorcycle licensing. If you are an avid watcher of this channel, like some 80 odd of you are now, which I'm very happy with. My last Uber Eats video did incredibly well and I am so grateful for the support. Bit of slow manoeuvring, baby. Oh my god. Unfortunately you're on my chin, so I'm going to have to put the chin guard up or they'll be like, excuse me, can you take your helmet off please? Don't have the helmet on in here. I've got fuel and I am about to head off from here. I'm actually like 10 miles away from where I got fuel. I did record like 20 minutes and I was just waffling on about, and I was waffling, it didn't really make sense. I've decided I'm going to be more structured and talk to you more about how it actually works. Guys and girls, just a quick one here. I have started a Discord server. Just for anybody, because this channel seems to be growing exponentially since I uploaded that Uber Eats video. I went from 9 subscribers to 120 in the last like 5 days. So hopefully we carry on going that way. I've created a Discord server. If you're a fan of the channel and want to look more into what goes on behind the scenes and a little bit more at my daily life and meet other people who like this channel as well, then there is a link in the description. Join up to the server. Anyway guys, so that was just a quick point from me. If you do enjoy the content and you want to see some behind the scenes stuff, do follow the Discord, show me some pictures of your bikes, show me some other awesome stuff that goes on in your lives. The link is in the description. Shall we get moving? I am actually going to head back the way I came and try and give you all the information you could possibly need about your motorcycle license in that time. Oh my god. Motorcycle licenses. I'll run through what they are first, and then I'll run through the process for each one. There are 3 different motorcycle licenses, proper licenses you can get. That doesn't include the CBT, that's not a license, that's a certificate. The first one is A1. Your A1 license is a motorcycle license. It lasts as long as the others. Your A1 license, it is for people who are 17 years old or older, but the minimum age is 17. It's a proper motorcycle license, so you won't need to display L plates, so you can ride any 125cc motorcycle up to 14.7 brake horsepower, that's 11 kilowatts. You can ride on the motorway and you can carry passengers. It's more designed for people who are like riding around cities and stuff like that. That's the A1 license. It's 125cc, 11 kilowatts or 14.7 brake horsepower, which is the, if you get a Japanese 125, that is practically the power that they're all set to. They're all built to that power. So the next one after that is A2. Now your A2 license is the same basis as your A1 license, except the age and type of motorcycle you can ride are different. So you can get an A2 license when you turn 19. You don't need to have had any prior experience on a motorcycle. It's the same process as getting an A1 license. They're all the same process, they're all the same tests. You can ride any motorcycle up to 35 kilowatts, which is 47 brake horsepower. And once again, you don't need L plates, you can carry passengers, you can go on the motorway, you can do everything with an A2 license. It's a lot less restricting than an A1 license because of the amount of power you can have. You can get a lot of older bikes restricted, like this GSX 600F. You can either buy an A2 motorcycle that's been built for A2, and they're usually twin cylinder motorcycles or singles, and they are built to be 47 horsepower. Or You can also buy motorcycles that are up to 94 horsepower, something like that, as long as they are restricted down to 47 brake horsepower. So that's your A2 license. 19 years old or upwards. You can get an A2 license when you've been 85 if you want. I wouldn't recommend it. I'd just do what's called DAS. And DAS is a way of getting your full motorcycle license. Full motorcycle license is simply called A. Your full license. This is where it gets a little bit confusing. If you've never rode a motorcycle before, then you can do what's called the direct access scheme when you turn 24. When you turn 24, you can go to your local training school and you can do what's called the direct access scheme. That allows you, is that bus going to pull out? No, good boy. That direct access scheme allows you to go straight into your full motorcycle test. Once again, the tests are exactly the same as they are for the A2 and A1 licenses. And it allows you to go straight to a full motorcycle license when you're 24. You can ride any motorcycle you want. So those are the 3 licenses. I'm going to recap them quickly. A1, at least 17 years old. Once you pass the test, you don't need to use L plates. You can ride on the motorway. You can carry passengers. You can ride a motorcycle up to 14.7 brake horsepower, also known as 11 kilowatts. That is the A1 license. The A2 license, same principle as the A1 license once again, except you need to be 19, at least 19 years old. And you can ride any motorcycle up to 47 brake horsepower, or you can ride a motorcycle that has been restricted down from 94 brake horsepower. That was a bit of a rubbish lean, wasn't it? And then after that, you go to your full A license. You need to be at least 24 to do direct access, or you can do what's called progressive access when you turn 21 if you've already held an A2 license for at least 2 years. If you go and watch my video about changing the law on motorcycles, then you will also learn that I am very close to passing my advanced motorcycling qualification as provided by the Institute of Advanced Motorists. So those are the 3 motorcycle licenses. If you're feeling a little bit left out because you're 16 and you want to ride a 50cc, I understand. You probably already know that you can ride a 50cc when you turn 16. You will need what's called a CBT. This is called compulsory basic training. Oh, there's been an accident. That's a great place to put the warning triangle, isn't it? CBT. It's quite an easy course, really. You do a load of modules with your local riding school, and it's not really a pass or fail. It's more of an exercise to show that you're a safe, relatively safe rider, and that you can do what you're asked to do. Like I said, it's really simple. I think there's 5 modules. 4 of them are in a car park. 1 of them is on the road. And once you pass this, if you're 16, you can ride a 50cc moped limited to 28 miles per hour on the public road with L plates. You cannot go on the motorway, obviously, because it's a 50cc. It can only do 28, and you are not allowed to carry passengers. And you, like I said before, you must have L plates on the front and rear of your motorcycle. If you're 17 though, you can do a CBT, not for a 50cc but for a 125, and once you've done that CBT, it's essentially like having an A1 license, except it's the same rules that apply to a 50cc CBT. You need to ride with L plates, you can't ride on the motorway, and you cannot carry passengers. The problem at the minute is a lot of people will simply do their CBT for 2 years, within 2 years, and then they'll just renew it after the 2 years is up, and they won't do a motorcycle test, probably because the training and the hire of the motorbike and stuff to actually do your test is significantly more expensive than just doing another CBT. CBTs nowadays cost about £120. They used to be 80, but then they realised that they can't possibly be making enough money by doing that, and insurance costs for the hire bikes and whatnot will have gone up, so they have to raise the price of the CBT. So it's about £120. Now, in comparison, if you want to go away and have a week's training and do your test for an A2 or direct access license, it's about £1,000 or £1,200. It depends on how many days you do and who you go and do your training with. It is quite expensive. That is the licenses and how they work, and the CBT, which is like, you can just go and do it, you know, if you want to learn how to ride a bike in your own time, or if you have members of your family who want to go out, who have licenses who you want to go out with, and you're happy to ride a 125 or a 50cc if you're 16. I think the government allow it because it makes them money every 2 years. Lots of people are constantly renewing their CBTs. And the problem is, if people go and do direct access, they get money for that, a significant amount more. But once you've done direct access, unless you lose your license, you don't need to go and do your license again. You never will. Oh dear. 3-cylinder Fiesta boy. As I was saying, yeah. So once you've got your full motorcycle license or your A2 license, you don't have to go back and do it again. That's it. It's like a car license. Unless you lose it or you do something stupid, you haven't got to go back and do it again. You've got it for life. So now I'd like to talk a little bit about the actual process of getting your motorcycle license. So if you've never held a license before and you're coming into it, let's give an example. You're 25, you're fresh off the iron block, and you want to go and do your direct access, but you've never done anything to do with motorbikes before. You're a brave boy if you go straight to direct access, but you will learn, and it is possible, and a lot of people do it. Just be careful, because you will be stepping onto a motorcycle with over 67 horsepower, because that's the minimum horsepower of the bike that you must be doing your test on for your full A license. 67 horsepower. So here's the process. We'll use that example. It's the same for all the others if you have no experience in the past, because all of the tests and all of the requirements are exactly the same. The first step, you'll need to pass the theory test and hazard perception test. If you've done a car test recently, the process of these two is exactly the same. You'll go to your local test centre, you'll book it in. Usually if you book a package through your local riding school, then they will provide you with a test date and it's included in your price. So they do packages which includes everything from going to 0 to 100, from 0 to a full motorcycle licence, if you meet the requirements of course. So you'll need to start off with a theory test and hazard perception test. These are not difficult. Buy yourself a highway code book or go online and do highway code quizzes and have a practice at some of the hazard perception stuff. As I said before, not difficult. If you've got common sense, you'll probably pass it. I'm an idiot. I've done multiple of them. I had to do one for my A2 licence, one for my car licence, one for my bus licence, and one for my HGV licence. I am by no means a clever man, and I can do it, so can you. So once you've passed them, they'll give you a lot of sheets of paper, and it will say, congratulations, you passed, here's your pass mark, whatnot. Keep these bits of paper. Keep them safe. Keep them so safe, because you will need them. Keep those sheets of paper safe. Protect them with your life, because when you go and do your module 1 test, which is what we'll cover next, you will need them. You will need them. Don't lose them, or you'll have to go and do your theory test and hazard perception all over again, and nobody wants to do that. Once you've done your theory test and hazard perception, passed them and protected those sheets of paper with your life, you will then go and do your training with your motorcycle school. The first lot of training will be for what's called your module 1 test. This is an off-road riding skills test. You will do all of the same exercises and it will be exactly the same in the riding school as it is when you go and do your test. The only difference will be that you're doing it with an examiner and it is pass or fail. You do your training for your module 1. It includes like you push your bike around from one parking spot to another. That's manual handling exercise. That's usually what they do first. And then you will be lined up for a slalom and figure of 8. You do these around some cones. The riding school have all the dimensions for where the cone should be placed. So it will be exactly the same setup as it was when you did it in the riding school. So there's nothing to be frightened of. The examiner's watching, and they're all motorcyclists themselves, and if you can show that you've got the skills, they'll pass you. So you're set up to do the slalom. You do the slalom and figure of 8, the examiner will tell you when to stop. So once you've done the slalom and figure of 8, you will then move on to I don't know if these are in order, I know the first 2 are. I believe the next exercise is a U-turn, so you'll go and do a U-turn, once again, same dimensions as it was when you did it in the riding school. So don't let the nerves get in your way. If you did it successfully in the riding school, you can do it successfully on your module 1 test. I promise, I absolutely promise you can. And it's a useful time to point out that if you drop the bike or put a foot down on any of the exercises, unfortunately you will not pass your module 1 test. It's a cruel rule, but it's there to make sure that you can do the exercises competently and without the assistance of putting your foot down. So there are a few more exercises you do as part of your Module 1 test. You do a U-turn, and then you do an emergency stop, a controlled stop, and also what's called a hazard avoidance. Now once you've done these, the examiner will invite you over. Now don't forget, the test is not over until the examiner has told you whether or not you've passed or not. If you haven't done anything wrong, they will pass you. If they find something which is dangerous and they go, that's dangerous, you can't be doing that, it's a bad habit, they won't pass you. Don't give up at this point. More people fail it than you'd think. It's actually the hardest test you can do on a motorcycle. The Module 1 is harder than the Module 2. So once you've done your Module 1 test, it's all a lot of off-road skills and stuff like that. There are videos of actual Module 1 tests on YouTube. You will go away and you'll do a Module 2 test after this. It's likely that before your Module 1 test you may have already had some Module 2 training from your riding school. If not, then you will do Module 2 training. You'll be going out on the road, making sure that you're competent in riding around on the roads and making sure that you follow the highway code and the rules of the road. There are some things in the highway code that people don't realise about, like hierarchy of road use and stuff like that. So just make sure you've clued yourself up with that as much as you can before you go and do your training, because it will make your life significantly easier. So you'll do your Module 2 training. Excuse me, I nearly choked on nothing. So you'll go away and you do your Module 2 training. It is essentially just like going out on the road with a trainer, and they will talk to you through your ear and they'll tell you where you've gone wrong. They'll ask you questions about what you've done wrong to make sure that you don't do it again. They're there to help you. They're not there to scrutinise you and be of no help. They will scrutinise you and they will ask you why you're doing what you're doing, but that's because they want you to pass. So don't be put off by this. Once you've done all your Module 2 training and your Module 2 test date, the next day, you go to the test centre, you'll meet the examiner, he'll do a licence check, he'll do an eyesight test. This is to make sure that you can see and also that you have all the paperwork you need. And this is where it's important, because every test you go to, Module 1 and Module 2, you need your theory test pass certificates and any other pass certificates that came before. So if you're doing your Mod 1, you'll need your provisional driving licence, or just your driving licence, depending if you have a car licence or not. You will also need your Module 1 pass certificate and your theory test pass certificates. Take them with you, because they'll want to see them. If they don't see them, they can't take you out on your test. So you go out on your Module 2 test, go out on the road with an examiner, and it's just like riding around with your trainer. It is much the same. You just go out, have a ride around some estates. They'll take you on different types of road, as many different types of road as they can. Usually lasts about 45 minutes out on the road. When you've got back, you'll have a discussion with the examiner. He will tell you whether you have passed or failed. Once you've passed your Module 2 motorcycle test, if you have all of your pass certificates with you, congratulations, you can go away and ride a motorcycle in the license category that you've passed. So if A2, it's anything up to 47 brake horsepower, A1 anything up to 14.7 brake horsepower, or full A, any motorcycle you like. You can go away that day, as long as you've got both of your pass certificates with you, you can go away and ride your motorcycle if you have one. And as long as it's taxed, MOT'd and insured, and you have the paperwork with you, you are good to ride. So that was a very long spiel from me, I'm afraid, and but hopefully it's been of a little bit of help, and you understand more about the riding, the licensing process. If you've got any questions, please feel free to drop them in the comments down below. Anything you think I didn't cover or want me to clarify, please also drop that down in the comments below, and I will be happy to help you out. Anybody who's looking to do their license for the first time and you don't have any experience, then just drop me a question. Drop it in the comments. I do my best to respond to all the comments that you guys leave. So if you've got a question for me, please do ask. Don't be afraid to ask questions. There's no such thing as a stupid question, only a stupid answer. So guys, that being said, that's all I can tell you about the motorcycle licensing process. Once again, if I missed anything, do let me know. Drop a like on this video if you enjoyed it and if it helped you out. Drop a comment, as I said, with any questions or any feedback for me, or just anything in general that you want to say, because it really helps in the algorithm. And of course, if you liked this and my other videos, I urge you to go and check out my Uber Eats video, because I think it's fantastic. Then drop me a subscribe and hit that bell
so that you never miss another video from Roy on Two Wheels. I'm going to carry on for a minute so you can listen to this wonderful machine while I'm not talking, and I will see you next time, guys. Bye babies, I love you so much. If you made it to the end of the video, drop me a comment. I'll tell you how much I love you.